Alright, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another edition of the Push for Relevancy here on Coastal Zone Championship Wrestling. We are inching ever closer and ever closer to medium-sized. What does that mean? I have no idea. Honestly, I don't have like a big celebration or anything. It just means that I think it's gonna get harder. I think we're gonna have to compete with the big boys, which I'm not looking forward to, but that's the whole gimmick of the save, so oh well. I'm sure you've already noticed, but we have a brand new logo for Coast to Coast here, right there. It's as you've noticed, the Coast to Coast logo we've been using has kind of been like made for the previous CZCW logo, and I have found one that is made for the logo that now CZCW has with the yellow Z. I discovered that the person that made the logo that is in the default database is Will Rock on the GDS forums, and I found his old images page, his render page from TEW 2020, and I couldn't see on there if it was like freeware, if it was cool to use for diaries, so I just shot him a quick message like, hey, is it okay if I use your logos? And he's like, yeah, sure, go right ahead. So in the description of this video will be a link to his 2020 images page. I got permission to use his stuff. He is very, very fucking good at making logos. I mean, like, shit, dude, he's got, the title renders he has too are fucking great. He's got, so it's going to have a bunch of his stuff from TEW 2020 and 2016, the whole thread. It's in the link in the description below if you want to use the logo that I have, that I'm using now. And I'm also going to be using event logos from Fleisch, also from his 2020 render thread. I went on a deep dive. So Fleisch, the guy that started the Real World Chronicles and has made the 1992 mod, that very good mod. He's made Flashpoint as well. He has a graphics page as well that says at the very top it's free to use in diaries and everything. So you can go get those. I'm going to be using his event logos as well because, again, they use this new CZCW logo, the one with the yellow Z. And, yeah, he's got logos for CZCW, ACPW, Golden Canvas Grappling, a couple others. I don't have it in front of me. That was purely based off of memory because I've used both the ACPW and the Golden Canvas Grapplings logos before. So, yeah, just want to credit the people that I take their work from, essentially. And if I do forget, because there is a chance, I don't think I will this time, but just in case I do forget and there's no links in the description, please, please, please just leave a comment like, hey, SixtyFour, you stupid motherfucker, where are these links? And I'll be like, fuck, and then I'll put them in the reply to your comment, and I will add them to the description. It has happened before, so, but hopefully I don't forget. And, so yeah, tonight on the first edition of CZCW, we are starting our build to, what are we starting our build to? I just ran the goddamn pay-per-view. I just ran it. What the hell? Reach for the Sky. Jesus Christ. We are starting the build to Reach for the Sky, and as you can see, we have 2 matches pre-booked for tonight, announced ahead of time. We are going to have Onslaught versus Seth Whitehead in a singles match, and we're also going to have an Extreme title match. It was announced by Sean McFly. He says, look, there was a draw. Atsumori Takamura and Bunraku Kantori, they went to a double knockout. They knocked each other out. They went to a draw, but the Guru came to me and he said that Atsumori and Bunrakuken have sorted it out and there is going to be a one-on-one match for the Extreme Championship tonight. So, all we know is that there's going to be an Extreme title match, presumably involving Atsumori or Bunraku Kantori. But I guess they've patched things through, or they've worked something out. So yeah, we're gonna have an Extreme title match later tonight in this first edition of Coast to Coast. So without further ado, I got nothing else to talk about. Let's get right into Coast to Coast number 32. And we open the first edition of Coast to Coast in this episode with the Coastal Kings. Masked Cougar snuck out of the pay-per-view with his championship, able to steal the match right under California Love Machine's nose, and the Coastal Kings, they come out, and Fox Mask is just having another victory parade, just like everybody said. Mask Cougar, oh, he couldn't do it. Sean McFly tried his hardest, but he tried so hard to make sure that Mask Cougar wouldn't walk out as champion, and look what happened. Mask Cougar still did it. Everybody doubted us, but now what? Oh, California Love Machine's gonna have to California go love somebody else. Frankie Boy's still never getting a title shot. American Flash, yeah, he lost in a flash, that's for sure. But then, the Coastal Kings and American Flash, Going Coastal and American Flash then come out and kind of, throw it right back at the Coastal Kings. Frankie Boy, Cali, and American Flash just come out with petty insults, identical to what Fox Mask does. Just like, American Flash is just gonna be like, Fox Mask, I'm surprised you're talking so much shit for somebody that's too scared to wrestle anymore. And Fox is gonna be like, you know that's not why. And it's like, and Frankie's like, oh, is it because you found it easier to rely on 3 better wrestlers to do your dirty work for you? And, Fox Mask is like, shut the fuck up, and Jackpot and Jake are like, Frankie, I don't want to hear it. At least we have gold around our waist, and California Love Machine's like, yeah, you only have gold around your waist because you've been abusing the shit out of my old mentor. And then Fox Mask is gonna be like, oh, California, shut up. And it all comes to a head when Frankie Boy Fernandez essentially says, like, Mask Cougar hasn't said a word, and Frankie Boy is like, Cougar, bud, are you just gonna let Fox Mask do all the talking? And then Mask Cougar just kind of like waves him off, and he's like, you know what, maybe I shouldn't be surprised, because for the past 10 years, for the past maybe even 15 years, since you came here in 2006, you've done nothing but be Fox Mask's bitch. You were his bitch in the ring, you lost to him every time, and now you're his bitch out of the ring. He's not even wrestling, and he's still owning you. And then Cougar's like, that's enough out of you, Frankie. If he's owning me, then what's he doing to you? I'm the one that took this title from you. You better shut your fucking mouth before I make you. And Frankie Boy's, yeah, make me. How about this? Make me. Meet me and American Flash in the ring later tonight. Pick any one of your Coastal cucks and fucking meet us in the ring. And Mask Cougar's like, yeah, fine, you know what, me and Air Attack Weasel, we're gonna meet you in the ring later tonight. And Fox Mask looks at him like, dude, what are you doing? Why are we doing this? Essentially, like, Fox Mask is not happy that Mask Cougar is accepting a match on behalf of nobody. 59 to open the show. Oh. Our opening it was a big gamble. Our opening match did pretty bad because I put a big gamble for fun, I guess. I thought it'd be funny. I don't know. So Heartbreaker comes out, and he's announced as Heartbreaker, and then after he enters the ring, he goes up to the ring announcer and essentially is like, pss, 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 he whispers to him, and then the ring announcer's like, okay. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen, Heartbreaker is no longer with us. Snapdragon Jr.'s opponent, hailing from Tijuana, Mexico, or wherever he's from, Heartbroken. So yeah, Heartbreaker is forcing himself to be called Heartbroken from now on with his stupid mustache, and he comes out here and he beats Snapdragon Jr. in 9 minutes and 47 seconds with the Idolizer, and Heartbreaker essentially goes on full breakdown again, just like, I am changing my wrestling nickname to Heartbroken because that's what I am. I am broken. I am a broken man. The system and the women in this company have broken me down to my purest form, and I have channeled all the broken, shattered pieces of myself back into me, and have trained and have become the meanest fighting machine you will ever see. If you're a champion in CZCW, you all better watch out, because Heartbroken is gonna take your gold, but not your women, because they don't want me. 58 for another breakdown we have. And then we cut backstage where we see Fox Mask full on scolding Mask Cougar. Like, dude, what are you doing? Why are you there is no need for us to fight in any kind of match right now, especially since you're coming out of a 3-way. What is the gain from this? And Mask Cougar's like, Fox, calm the fuck down. I haven't lost a single match since I've become champion. The Coastal Kings have not lost a single match since becoming champion. Since we have reunited, since we have teamed up and started this mission together, I have one loss in Coast to Coast. Just one. Just one, and it was because American Flash wanted to fuck with what wasn't his, okay? So, how about you trust me? And let's just shut these guys up. Clearly, we're the better wrestlers. If we never lose, why not shut them up? And Fox Mask is like, fine. I don't see the gain. We get a Frankie Paris promo, who's essentially, he watched the opening segment, and he's like, look at this garbage. Look at this fucking garbage. American Flash, one of the worst overrated wrestlers in the company's history, gets what he deserved. He got what was coming to him at the pay-per-view. He was embarrassed and straight up made a fool, losing the World Championship match. He got what he deserved, and look at what he's doing now. He's reverting to petty insults against Fox Mask and Mask Cougar, guys that built this company. Just look at that stupid shit. This is exactly what I'm talking about. American Flash belongs nowhere near a world title scene. He belongs nowhere near a company like this. He would be better suited down in Puerto Rico with Freedom Caribbean Wrestling. He'd be better off being the hand jockey for a handsome stranger. But no, we're pretending like he's the greatest homegrown name this company's ever seen. Give me a fucking break. It's despicable that people like him continue to get world title matches in this company. 66. We have the Inner Cities Express's return match as they were taken out by Rich and Famous a couple weeks ago, pretty brutally laid out. We haven't seen them since, but they returned at the pay-per-view to essentially tease getting revenge on Rich and Famous, and they have their first match back, defeating Aviation in 5 minutes and 28 seconds when Malik Cash pinned Viento with the rocket launcher. And the Inner City Express say exactly that. They're like, Rich and Famous put us on the shelf. We want a chance to get our revenge and take those tag titles from them. And then Bullseye and Waylon Walls, Gangster Nation, who just came out of that hard-fought match with the Beach Boys, finally settling the feud between those two teams. And Bullseye and Waylon are like, look, we hate Rich and Famous just as much as you do. There's nothing more that we want than Rich and Famous to fail. However, Jay, Malik, we won a match at the pay-per-view. We won a very convincing, brutal match at the pay-per-view. And we want to win our first ever Coastal Zone Tag Team titles. So if you want to go get those title matches, if you want that title match, you got to go through us. Next week, us versus you. Winner gets Rich and Famous. So yeah, number one contenders match set for next week. We have Zell Quinn talking to Eureka LaBelle and Onslaught. We, of course, have Onslaught versus Seth Whitehead pre-announced for some reason. And essentially, Zell Quinn, he's trying to fire up his troops. He's like, guys, we've spent the past 3 months doing nothing. We've been diddly twisting. We've been just hanging around, fucking with people beneath us. We should be up on the card. We should be main eventing pay-per-views. We should be main eventing, holding championships. Tonight is the perfect opportunity to do this. Onslaught, you have a match against Seth Whitehead later tonight. Let's make a statement. You go out there and you show Seth Whitehead who's boss, and the Q crew will be feared for years to come. And then Eureka and Onslaught are like, yeah, let's go. Let's get him. Up next is the Extreme title match. We don't know what the situation is, but Sean McFly was told that Atsumori and no, I fucked up. There's an interview first. Damn it. So Carlos Pereira is cutting a promo, essentially just like, I have been fueled by one thing and one thing only. Payback. Revenge. Ever since I lost that 4-way for the number one contendership, I have held myself accountable for everything. So each successing loss since that 4-way has eaten away at me until I busted. Until I exploded. Until I had to get my anger out and attack people that truly didn't deserve it. So I'm tired of bottling up my anger and directing it at the wrong people. Fox Mask, Mask Cougar, you have started this spiral, and now that I am bouncing back, you are going to be the ones that face my wrath. Nobody else is getting in the way except you guys. And then he is jumped from behind by Rich and Famous and Fox Mask 2, who are listening to the promo. Hopefully not me talking about Atsumori and Bunraku Kentori. But yeah, the Coastal Kings jump Carlos Pereira, so if they know he's getting revenge, then yeah. they're going to take him out. Now it's time for the fucking angle. So essentially, the Guru plays translator again, and he says that after last week, after Atsumori and Bunrakuken knocked each other out, they have earned each other's utmost respect. And they feel that they are the two best competitors in Coastal Zone right now. They've never wrestled each other before. They've never seen each other wrestle. So being face-to-face with one another made them realize how special these two are. How similar these two are, especially their paths to Coastal Zone. So they have come to an agreement. Even though last match was a draw, the two men agreed that Bunrakuken Tori had his shot against Tigre, and Atsumori should get one tonight. So, right now, Atsumori versus Tigre for the Extreme Championship gets a fucking 73 bang. Tigre Salvaje Jr. is him. Oh my god. In a bout that had superb wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd, Tigre makes defense number 4 of his Extreme Championship, defeating Atsumori in 12:29. Honestly, I ran the angle. I did the double knockout angle for a reason that we will find out later, but it did so well that I had to book the match. I had to book a match, so this is my weird cop-out way of doing that. 73 for an amazing performance. But it's all ruined when Tigre Salvaje Jr. is jumped by Heartbroken. And I'm sure we all saw this coming. Heartbroken said, if you're a champion, watch your back, and Tigre Salvaje Jr. did anything but watch his back, and now he's got the world's most violent incel coming for his Extreme Championship. 32 rated angle. We cut backstage where we see the Coastal King, I did it again. We see Going Coastal talking to one another. Frankie is getting ready for his match. He's going to be teaming with American Flash to take on Masked Cougar and Air Attack Weasel, and California Love Machine says, Frankie, I need a massive favor. And Frankie's like, yeah, what's up? And California says, I haven't had the chance to get my hands on that slimy, slippery fuck, Air Attack Weasel, ever since he betrayed me. He made a mockery of me. He made a mockery of my beliefs and what I stand for, and took advantage of me. And you've got a match tonight where you're going to be facing him. Now, I know this whole match started because of what you said, and specifically what you said to Masked Cougar, but I'm asking you for a huge favor. Can you withdraw from the match and put me in it so I can get my fucking hands on Air Attack Weasel? And Frankie's like, damn. Honestly, Callie, I don't want to, but I kinda owe you big time. I sent you away when I really should have taken your help, and I owe you for that. So you know what? As much as I want to fight Masked Cougar and Air Attack Weasel, you probably want to do more so. So, you're on. You can have the main event match. So yeah, change of plans. It's going to be American Flash and California Love Machine in the main event. Up next is Onslaught versus Seth Whitehead. It went about as well as you'd expect. Seth Whitehead murders Onslaught in 8 minutes and 13 seconds with the butterfly powerbomb. Q Crew were not, in fact, able to capitalize, and Seth Whitehead has a microphone afterwards and just says, at the pay-per-view, I proved what I said I've proved what I've been saying. I'm continuing to week in and week out destroy anybody that stands in my way. This month it was Frankie Perez. Last month it was Carlos Barrera. Everybody that comes to me, I fucking beat them. So you know what? It's goddamn time I get this title match, and I'm tired of waiting. And he spikes the microphone down. And right before our main event, we see oh my god, did I miss the button? We see the California Dreams talking, and they're essentially like, look, Sky Hermosa is cleared to compete, and even though we probably should be targeting Carlos Barrera, we need to handle somebody. See, we were one of the first people that Heartbreaker was sexually harassing, and we didn't do anything about it. I mean, we beat his ass because it's easy to, and it's fun to, but like, we didn't put an end to him, and now he's become one of the most disgusting, vile human beings I've ever seen in my life. So, if Heartbreaker truly wants to continue on the path that he is going down, we're gonna have to go and come after him once again. 48. So essentially, they think it's too much of a detriment to the company to have Heartbreaker be a champion, so they're going to do something about it. 48, and then the main event, Frankie Boy's at ringside, Fox Mask's at ringside. Frankie Boy continues to prevent Fox Mask from cheating. Eventually, Fox Mask lures Frankie Perez to the top of the ramp so Fox Mask 2 can run to the apron, try and do a distraction, but he is cut off by Carlos Barrera. Carlos Barrera clotheslines him to the ground. Mask Cougar is distracted. He turns around right into a high-velocity senton. I don't know if that works like that. He walks into a drop kick, followed by a high-velocity senton, and American Flash has just pinned the world champion. He has just pinned the world champion in a 75-rated main event. American Flash and California Love Machine have absolutely zero chemistry as partners. Air Attack Weasel was fucking horrible, and it gets us 75. So, you know, American Flash with the victory. Fox Mask and Mask Cougar are absolutely left stunned. Carlos is watching from afar, laughing his ass off. Frankie, Callie, and Flash are celebrating, and Sean McFly, who I apparently forgot to put in this angle, comes out and announces, look, I don't normally book stuff on the fly, wink, but American Flash has just pinned our world champion. Our world champion has just been pinned by American Flash. So even though he just got an opportunity, I cannot deny him a world championship match. At Reach for the Sky, American Flash will be challenging Mask Cougar once again for the world championship. The Coastal Kings freak out. Fox Mask is not happy at both Sean and Mask Cougar, and we end this edition of Coast to Coast on a 64. Great fucking rating to finish. Overall show got a 72. Good start to the show. Let's get to Coast 33. Alright, holy fuck, 74. We kick off the second edition of Coast to Coast in this episode with Sean McFly just giving a straight up announcement. He is announcing a brand new yearly annual tradition for every Reach for the Sky pay-per-view. We are going to have a 6-man ladder match. The only way to win this ladder match is to be the first person to climb a 20-foot ladder, retrieve a briefcase suspended from atop the ring, and if you win the match, inside that briefcase is a contract that says that you get a championship match of your choosing for any title on the following episode of Coast to Coast. So sort of a Money in the Bank, but not the full cash-in gimmick. It's going to be a set date. You have to use the title match. You get to pick one. If you want the world title, you say the world title. Extreme title. If you want the tag titles, you get a partner, and you can challenge for the tag titles. So, yeah, a 74 rated angle, surprisingly. He says, tonight there will be 2 qualifiers. First, immediately after my promo, we will see Luis Montero Jr. versus Tony DeWonderful, and then later in the show, Joanna Silver will take on Kira Lee. Next week, we will have the remaining qualifiers in this order. We will have Simon Waves versus Swipe Romero. We will have El Jaguar versus Sky Hermosa. We will have Chet Chavez versus Johnny Perez. And the final one, we will have Hugh Day-Ask versus, from Mid-Atlantic Wrestling, formerly known as the Architect, now known as Mitchell Aldred. I think he was just the world champion over there. No, I completely lied. But he won the Ripcord last year, so that's cool. He won with Tyrone Gray. He won the Sam Keith Classic, and this is his prize. So yeah, Mitchell Aldred is coming to Coastal Zone, and he is going to be in the qualifiers next week. But right now, before we do that, I actually did want to show you what is the problem here. That's right, all the pre-bookings. The Reach for the Sky briefcase. I have this image as, if you're watching not the live stream, if you're watching the video, this image along with a second image that I made, along with this briefcase, are both going to be on my GDS images page. I have a video posted on my channel. If you just scroll back a couple weeks, you will find it. I have a link. If you want to use either of these 2 images, then if I remember, I might forget. If I remember, I'll link my page. It has all of my custom alts and anything I've made personally. The other links in the description are, of course, the new Coast to Coast logo and the new event logos. So, yeah, if you want to use those briefcases for your own save, go right ahead. They're going to be available as of this video uploaded. So, kicking off the qualifying matches, we have Luis Montero Jr. versus Tony DeWonderful. And, 11 minutes and 9 seconds go by. Luis Montero Jr. gets the victory by submission, becomes the first man to qualify for the Reach for the Sky ladder match. And after the match, Luis Montero Jr., he's like, great fucking showing, Tony. They shake hands. Big respect. Tony's going to be the future of this company one day. And then once Luis Montero Jr. leaves, he fucking is jumped by Frankie Perez. He gets laid out, and Frankie says this company has its priorities completely ass-fucking backwards if somebody like American Flash is in a championship match again. He lost, and he's in a championship match again. This is ridiculous. This is stupid, and I'm going to make sure that his protege gets the brunt of everything that American Flash has coming to him. 53 for that angle. We have Fox Mask talking to Fox Mask 2, and essentially he says, look, later tonight, there's a #1 contenders match for between Gangster Nation and Inner City Express. I don't like those Gangster Nation guys. I really don't. I feel that they could be a problem for us, if you get what I mean. If you, my dear protege, could persuade them not to wrestle tonight, that would be great. And Fox Mask 2 is like, I can do that, but what are we going to do about Carlos Barrera now joining up with American Flash and Frankie Boy in California? And Fox is like, look, me and Mask Cougar will take care of Carlos Barrera later tonight. I just need you to persuade and talk to Gangster Nation for me. 49 for that angle. We have a Seth Whitehead barging into Sean McFly's office. He says, what the fuck, Sean? I've done nothing but prove my worth, and I still can't get a championship match. And Sean's like, dude, American Flash just pinned the champion. I'm sorry. I've seen your wins. Your wins are impressive, but you haven't won against the champion. If you can pin the champion, you can have a world title match. Until then, American Flash is getting that title match, and that decision is final. And Seth says, fine, I'll fucking do it all again. 63 for that. We see Wasted Potential take on Thunderstruck. Fun match. 56. Onslaught did very well. Good for him. Onslaught pins Ellie DeGrazia after 6 minutes and 53 seconds with the wiped out. A 56 rated match, and we get a 39 rated Zell Quinn promo who says Onslaught was cheated last week. He had that match against Seth Whitehead won, and the referee pulled a fast count, and Seth Whitehead cheated somehow. We're not entirely sure, but he cheated, and we should be in that World Championship match. Not American Flash, not even Seth Whitehead. We should be getting world title matches, so we will make sure that justice is served. We have a plan to get in those world title matches. 39 for that. Carlos Barrera, along with Going Coastal, find Fox Mask and Mask Cougar backstage, and just straight up, Carlos Barrera's like, hey, Fox, I heard what you said earlier. You and Mask Cougar are going to take care of me? You're going to take care of me? How about we cut the bullshit? How about we stop with the, very unsettled jumpings and attacks from behind? If you want to settle the score with me, then settle it in the main event. Pick any of your goobers, have him team with Cougar, and have him take on California and myself. And Fox Mask is like, yeah, sure, yeah. And then they walk away, and the Mask Cougar's like, Fox, what the fuck was that? Why am I wrestling now? And he's like, dude, that man was 2 inches away from my face, ready to kill me. Did you see what he did to Sky Hermosa's arm? You can fucking complain, alright? I don't care. 57 for that. Tigre Salvaje Jr. calls out Heartbroken. He says that he wants to settle this right now. He doesn't want to wait. He doesn't want anything else to happen. He wants Heartbroken to come out and fight him like a man. And Heartbroken most certainly is not a man. He comes out alongside the Architect from Maw, one of the most scheming behemoths that has ever existed in the history of COTT. He comes out alongside Heartbroken, and they don't say anything. They just stare down Tigre, and they look like they're going to jump him. But Mitchell Aldred's opponent for next week, Hugh Day-Ask, comes to the aid of Tigre, and he says, I'm not letting these assholes fight you alone, especially not Heartbreaker. So if you guys want to fight, we're going to do a tag match, and we get a tag match. A 56 rated tag match where Heartbroken pins the Extreme Champion. Yeah, he did it with a handful of tights, but he just pinned the Extreme Champion. Heartbroken has just won a match against a champion. What has this save come to? 56 rated match. Tigre, great performance again, bud. And then we have Heartbreaker standing over Tigre Salvaje Jr., holding Tigre's Extreme Championship, saying tick-tock, tick-tock, when the California Dreams come out. Kira Lee's match is next, so she's coming out, and they essentially say, Heartbreaker, whatever you want to be called, buddy, we're not going to let you continue to do this shit anymore, alright? We beat your ass once, we'll do it again. We don't want to take the hard way. We're going to give you one chance, and one chance only. Just right now, walk away. Just walk away. Enroll into therapy. You really need it. Go to therapy. Forget this life ever happened. Come back a new man. And then we can all just go on with our lives. And then if you don't, we're gonna kick the shit out of you. And Heartbroken says, you women are all the same. You only want to help me when I start being successful. That's when you want to come in and change me for the better. Sky Hermosa, you had your chance. It's too late now. Bye-bye, ladies. And then he runs away. So yeah, California Dreams really tried. They tried. Oh, Kira Lee's match is not next. I lied. Sorry. The next match is the tag team title, number one contenders match. And Inner City Express make their way to the ring. And they are waiting for Gangster Nation. And Gangster Nation start to make their way to the ring when Bullseye is jumped from behind by Fox Mask 2. He is knocked to the ground by a chair. Waylon Walls tries to stop him. Waylon Walls also gets hit with the chair. Bullseye is laying on his back. Fox Mask 2 turns the chair upside down so that the lip of it is facing the ground, and he just fucking spikes it right onto Bullseye's knee. Very unique way of Pillmanizing him. Waylon Walls gets to his feet, and then Fox Mask runs. Waylon Walls chases him, and the number one contenders match never gets underway. And I need to stop this partnership, because this is, like, Fox Mask 2 is already struggling to get any kind of ratings, and that's just going to make it worse. So yeah, the tag team number one contenders matches never gets underway. We have American Flash confronting Frankie Perez backstage, essentially like, Frankie, I don't understand what your problem still is with me. We've had a match. I've proven I'm better. I beat you at Battle on the Beach, fair and square, and then I beat you after the match. I don't know what else I can do to get you to leave me alone. You are obsessed with me. I don't know your problem. You need to get over it. I won. Alright? It's over. Despite what you think or who you think I am better than you. And that's how it will always be. I will continue to get world title matches. You will continue to lose your chances. So if you just get over it. And Frankie Perez says, no, I'm not going to get over it, because I don't stand for injustice like you do, American Flash. I'm not just not getting over it. I'm just getting started, Flash. So tell your little boy, Tony the Wonderful, to suit up, because it's not going to be an easy road for him. 50 rated angle. We have our second Reach for the Sky qualifier as Joanna Silver and Kira Lee get a 62, but only one of them can win, and that is Kira Lee defeating Joanna Silver in 9 minutes and 18 seconds with the flying knee strike. Very good match between these two. Kira Lee is the second person to qualify for the Reach for the Sky ladder match. Yeah, fun match. We cut back to Sean McFly's office, where he has called Fox Mask into his office and said, Fox, I don't understand why you continue to think that I am some spineless hack. I wrestled in North of the Border. My spine may be weak, but it is tough as shit. I have a strong neck and a strong metaphorical spine, despite the fact that my physical spine is in shambles. If you think that anything you try, I'm not going to immediately spit back at your face, then you do not understand how I've been running this company, okay? And Fox is like, Sean, I don't know where this is coming from. I have no idea what you're referring to. And he's like, Fox Smash 2 just went out there and injured Bullseye. Bullseye's out indefinitely. His knee is in fucking pieces. I couldn't have the number 1 contenders match that was planned for tonight. And Fox Mask is like, I mean, that's a tragedy, but I'm sorry. You must think I'm Fox Mask too. I'm Fox Mask. And he's like, I know the difference between you two. Your masks look nothing fucking alike, okay? So here's the thing. You do some stupid garbage, you're gonna have punishment. Your actions have consequences. I was not able to hold a number 1 contenders match. So, I'm just going to give the Inner City Express the tag team title match. And you know what? It's gonna happen next week. And Fox Master's like, whoa, that's no time to prepare. And he's like, I don't give a shit. I don't care. Your actions have consequences. This is the consequence. Next week, we are gonna have a tag team title match. The Inner City Express are going to get their rematch against your boys, Rich and Famous. Wherever they are. Jackpot Jordan and Jake Idol. It's because of this. Right? Yeah, there they are. Or I just missed them like an idiot. But whatever. Oh shit, yeah, thank you, game. Yes, the tag titles are in fact up for the grabs. So yeah, 5 matches pre-booked for the next show. And we have one final angle before our main event. And we have an angle where the Guru is, of course, translating once again. I've realized I need to put these two on background player because it tanks the rating if not. But the Guru translating for Tori and Atsumori, and they essentially say, after their hard-fought war, they bonded. They realized that they are equal competitors, and they wanted to learn more about each other. And they realized that they are both one and the same. Atsumori Takamura was poised to be one of the next biggest names in Burning Hammer history, and after a change in ownership, he was kicked out of the company. Bunraku Tori was one of the biggest names in Japanese wrestling, the biggest name in Black Canvas grappling, and he was tried to be taken advantage of. Shiga tried to take advantage of Bunraku Tori, and he stood up for himself, and he walked out of the company. And in turn, both men have been effectively blackballed from Japan. They've been expelled from Japan, and they're going to team up tonight they're going to team up from now on as the Expelled, just like that's going to be their team name. And, they say that nobody on this roster fears them. But they should. And next week, they'll have to make a statement to show everybody why they should be feared. 29, horrible match, or segment. Our main event gets a 66. Jackpot Jordan and Mask Cougar have no chemistry as partners. The finish was bad, and the creative finish was good, but it got a 66, so I'm fine with that. Bout that had good wrestling, great heat. The Coastal Kings get the victory tonight. The numbers advantage was too much for these guys to overcome. Frankie Boy and American Flash were at ringside, but Fox Mask called in every single reinforcement. Fox Mask 2 was there. Jake Idol was there. Air Attack Weasel was there, and it was Air Attack Weasel who was the final man to break the camel's back as California Love Machine gets interfered on by Air Attack Weasel, hit with the Cougar Pounce, and defeated by the Coastal Kings. And after the victory by the Coastal Kings, Seth Whitehead comes out, and he says, look, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Mask Cougar just defeated his upcoming challengers. His biggest threats in this company, he is just laid to waste. And yet I'm supposed to sit in the shadows? Bullshit. Mask Cougar, if you're gonna take them on, give me a chance. If I gotta beat you to get a title shot, I need a shot to beat you. And then he is attacked by Zell Quinn and the Q Crew. The Q Crew fucking jump him. He is laid out by the goddamn Q Crew, and Zell Quinn is screaming right at him. They should have been me. I should be in your shoes. You don't deserve this spot. You're useless, Seth. You're useless. I should be here. Get over it. And then they walk away, and that's how we end the show. With the fucking Q Crew. Q Crew, 67 rated angle to end, overall show, I mean, sorry, we made $4,000. We made a lot more money than we usually do on these tapings. And that's going to do it for this edition of Coast to Coast, the push for relevancy. We are going to finish the build to reach for the sky in the next episode, where we will find out who is going to fill out the rest of this Reach for the Sky ladder match. Who's going to get a championship match of their choosing on Coast to Coast episode number 36. Kira Lee and Luis Montero Jr. have already qualified for the match, and on the next show, we are going to have Chet Chavez versus Johnny Perez, El Jaguar versus Sky Hermosa, Hugh Dayask versus Mitchell Aldred of Maw, and Simon Waves versus Swipe Romero, and then, of course, opening the show as punishment to Rich and Famous for Fox Mask and the Coastal Kings preventing the number one contenders match from happening. As punishment, Rich and Famous got to defend their tag team titles to open the show against the Inner City Express. So Sean McFly is finally laying down the law. Now that he's officially taken the Coastal Kings and Fox Max threats seriously, he is laying down the law, and none of the Coastal Kings' actions are going to be consequence-free from now on. Sean McFly said he will make sure of it, and this is just the first example of that. So I hope you all enjoyed this edition of Coast to Coast, and I hope you all come back for the final shows in the build to Reach for the Sky 2022.